The meeting of the Park Board of the City of Connersville is now in session. Okay, by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Harold Gordon, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's do the roll call, please.
Harold Gordon,
Here.
Jeff Cooley,
Here.
Sharon McQueen, here. Scott Kiefaber,
Here.
Van Washula,
Here.
and Kirschner.
All right, we'll have, anybody have any, after reading the minutes, have any changes or corrections that need to be added or put in?
I move we pass them as presented.
Second.
Accept, so ordered, minutes approved. All right, on to new business. Tonight we're gonna let everybody know who was chosen for the Parks and Recreation Baseball Committee. Catherine, you want to enlighten us on those, please?
Sure, and we had 13 applications, and we chose 4 of those applications, as well as liaisons from the softball and baseball head coaches at the high school. So the committee is Scott Sargent, Matthew Watkins, Mike Bottomley, Jimmy Clark. The softball liaison is Steve Rubel, he's the coach out there. And the baseball coach, Mike Thompson, is another liaison.
And these are, we discussed with the mayor on this, so, and Dennis. So everybody was in agreement on choosing those, correct?
Yes, they were.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any issues with any of that?
Welcome aboard.
Yeah,
Sounded really good.
that's what I say, welcome aboard. Hopefully we can be as much help as possible for you in your endeavor, because we want everything to go well.
I did want to let you guys know, I was saying to Harold a minute ago, so that committee will meet the first and third Tuesdays of every month. Oh, and Scott Kiefaber is also the liaison from our board, so he's also invited to those meetings. I am serving as the secretary, and so I will be providing the minutes from those meetings in your board packets. So if you do have questions, you can let me know. And I did not get that done for this meeting, but I did want to hit a couple of highlights just because we did make 2 decisions during that first meeting. The first one was the entire group unanimously agreed that kids should play in the correct age group. So there won't be playing up or down. They will, if it's, and the birth date cutoff is May the 1st. So those are just the black and white guidelines we're going to go by. And that's the same as we do for our other sports. So we keep kids in the age groups they're supposed to be in. And the other decision that was made was that there will just be a tryout for kids going into Kids Pitch and older. So this year we won't have a tryout for Coach Pitch and younger. So it basically just affects Coach Pitch.
Okay.
Is that right, guys? Okay. Check with my committee there.
Okay.
But those were the highlights from that meeting.
All right, we don't need to vote on that, do we? I don't think so. All right, anything else with the baseball? I don't think so. We're good?
Good.
All right, next we have a representative from the Department of Child Services, correct?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna, about a rental request?
Yes. Do I need to stand up?
You need to come to the podium.
Come to the
please.
podium, please.
Get her good side, John.
Yes. So back in 2018, the governor requested that the Child Welfare Group, which I have the booklet here. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Child Welfare Group. They completed an assessment of the Department of Child Services, and they compared us to our neighboring states and found a lot of things that we can improve on. And they gave us 20 recommendations, and one of those recommendations was to train our communities on our practice model, and that's just how we kind of interact with each other. Those core values are planning, assessing, teaming, intervening, and engaging. And so he wants us to include our law enforcement, our courts, our child special advocates, everyone, anyone who touches our children and families. So I was able to kind of break the state down into 10 parts and get everything reserved except for this area is the last part to my puzzle. And I really like this area because a lot of our population of our providers are around here and in the neighboring counties. So I wanted to ask if October 21st, if I could utilize one of your facilities. I believe it's the Robert, I forget the exact name.
Robertsville.
Okay, yes. So yes, so that we can conduct that training, and that training will be, it will start at 9 a.m., but we would probably have to set up about 8 or 8:30, and then it would be 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and then we will have a break, and then we would have another training from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
It's not until October?
Yes.
And Eric has given you in your packet, the normal cost of that event would be $210. And so since they are requesting a rate different than our policy, that's why she was asked to come tonight to request that different rate from you guys.
Which is?
Yeah.
0. Because we're nonprofit. So,
Yeah, and that, the 210 is our nonprofit rate for that building.
Okay, that is.
Is that for the whole area? I mean, like Richmond, all of them to come down?
yes. The closest one to you, all of you, would be, we have one in the Government Center in Indianapolis. So, and then after that would be Clarks County. So, it's pretty spaced out.
That's down southern Indiana.
Yes. Yeah, I covered the whole state. So.
How many regions are there that you?
There are 18 regions and 92 counties in Indiana.
How many people are you expecting to show up for this?
I believe 140 is the capacity, and so 140
Okay,
per session.
per session.
And the outcome will be a plan?
So it would be training our communities on how to team with us, how to, like the empowerment of their voices being the providers, like the scans and Bowens. I'm not super familiar down here exactly what all you use to collaborate with DCS, but all of the providers that help progress our cases, so they do the therapeutic visits, they do the supervised visitation, the substance use treatment, just anything that has to do with trying to treat our families, helping to train them on how to go about collaborating with the Department of Child Services so that we can have better communication and smoother outcomes, because Indiana we have the highest number of removals, and the federal government isn't too happy about that. So we're trying to work together and start our Family First, which is federal, we have to, and then family preservation to try and keep kids in home. So we're also going to be training on those as well.
The media, how about, whom do you use for the media? For instance, I know, like our local newspaper, Connersville News Examiner, or Channel 3, or do you communicate with people through those media?
We usually try not to.
Oh.
Yeah, the less you say, the better. We usually try not to unless it's something through our communications department that the governor will probably channel out.
And how do we communicate with our people who are in need of your services?
In that case, we utilize 211 a lot. So 211, or even the local offices here. We have a Department of Child Services in every county. And then our community mental health agencies. We're pretty known for those who, the schools. So it's kind of working with the community.
Will there be participation from the schools here from
We can include
our
them.
counselors or, our principal, whoever it is?
Yeah, we haven't added them, but we can certainly include them. It's a link, what they would go to
Yeah.
just to sign up. So we can definitely get that out too.
We'd highly recommend that.
Yes, thank you.
Is there a charge to participate in this?
No.
No charge?
No.
Okay.
But it's required now.
Yes. Yes. And it isn't required, the location is not required, it's just
Right.
required that we get it done.
Okay.
And
So you're
we're
not
very-
charging any of the participants that'll be there?
No.
Are you serving dinner or anything like that?
No. No, we're giving them a break for lunch.
And Connersville is very hospitable. as
Oh,
you
nice.
may know.
Yes.
We welcome visitors.
Well, good, because there will be a lot, so that's nice.
That's in our policy, Ben, if they were asking for nothing, that we have to be co-sponsors in order for them to have no fee.
But it doesn't sound like they're gonna be doing much advertising.
That's not written in
but
our policy, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I mean, it is for a good cause. I mean,
Yeah. Because I work with the DCS when I was mayor, so I like kids. So I'm gonna make a proposal that we forget the fee.
I'll second it.
yeah, I agree. We have a motion and a second. I think we can waive the fee.
Thank you.
You forgot all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my first day on the job. so.
I've never done this before either, so.
Crystal, so what will happen next is we'll keep this form, and we know that the board voted for no charge. And we just need you to come in and sign a contract to rent the building, and then we will need a deposit, but your deposit will be refunded to you after your event's over.
Okay.
So that is your next step before to hold the date, right, Erica?
Yep.
So whenever you have time to come in and do that.
Or we can email it to her too.
Yeah, if they know it's there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Would you like me to stay for the rest of the meeting?
No, you
No, unless you just like us.
I like you.
Thanks for asking though. Like, okay,
And Vonda is not gonna be with us tonight. We had some other questions for her, and she had some other things come up, so.
Okay. So that one's off. Is Adrian for Armed Forces? He's not here. Okay, so that's done. We need, talk about a board meeting date for March.
Our regular meeting falls on spring break.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not either.
I'm not either.
Said I'll be here.
Anne had said it was a conflict for her, but.
So, anybody else have a conflict for that?
Was
That
it
would be the
conflict, or
30th,
was
wouldn't
it
it?
just,
No, I think
Oh,
so.
where?
The
It's
4th,
23rd.
sorry, 23rd.
oh, she will be out of town.
Anybody else have any issues with the 23rd? We're only be down one, so we can still have it, correct?
As long as we have quorum.
All right, all in favor of 23rd?
Aye.
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 All right, 23rd it is.
So nobody plan a vacation now on Monday.
Okay, very good. All right, let's have the superintendent's report, please.
Our revenue for January, you can see in your packet, was $7,079.09, and expenditures $51,061.28. Right now, we're taking registrations for girls fast pitch, which is 8U, 10U, 12U, 14U, and 16U. And we are taking registrations for baseball and T-ball, and all of those are due March the 31st. We're back to toddler time. We had toddler time last Friday. We had 18 kids
Oh,
come. Was that our highest?
Yeah.
I think that was it was really fun, and Carrie wasn't able to be there, so I got to go, and it was probably the most fun thing I did all week, so. but we're gonna continue that. Next one is March the 20th. Just some other things, we are hiring. So if you know anyone who's looking for a job, or if anybody watching is looking for a job, we are asking for applications by March the 6th. We're hiring for pool, day camp, and maintenance staff.
Is there any place you can look up the individual roles for those things?
We have it on Facebook.
On Facebook
Yeah.
for the parks?
Right.
Do you have any of those positions filled yet? Are they all just?
No,
I
not
mean, like
officially
just return-
filled.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we have some returning people, but we still have positions open, so. A really exciting announcement is the Lions Club is gifting the park $15,000. They are going to be building a shelter by well, it's near Kitty Land, probably by the bathroom in that direction. So we're going to get together tomorrow, and the club is going to come out and look at the space and decide exactly where they'd like it to be and size and things like that. So that's very exciting. So thank you everyone at the Lions Club.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And just in other news, our trail committee is becoming increasingly more active. We've broken off into working groups, and we have a group in charge of events on the trail. So our first event will be March the 28th, and it will be a dog walk on the trail. So they have 4 events planned for the year, and we'll be posting those on social media and things like that to let people know. But I'm excited about that, to get people out using our trails. And that's all I wrote down, unless you guys have other questions.
How's phase 1 coming?
It's chugging along. It's supposed to rain again all week.
And then snow.
I seen
The weather
they're
has not
getting
been
sighting
kind.
on
I went out last Thursday or Friday, and I was able to drive out to the concession stand, but once I got out there, I didn't even get out of the car because it was like I was just gonna sink. But the rolling doors are up, the windows are in. I'm gonna get on a schedule with Alston for walkthroughs. I think that would just be a good idea at this point. And the playground was still the same, the netting hadn't come in yet to move further on that. And I think they're trying to finish the concession stand before they move back to the amphitheater. So they're just battling, they're battling this weather, and
Here.
we're still shooting for the end of March to be done, so maybe the sun will come out and dry up.
Speaking of the sun, did all the solar panels get put up in the park now?
Yeah, they're on the Miller Building and the amphitheater. The bore is finished at the amphitheater, so those are connected, but I don't believe they're turned on yet. But they have not connected the ones on the top of the Miller Building yet. But the ones out at River's Edge, I believe those are pretty near ready to go, so, and those have been connected, but, yeah.
Good. All right. Sports director report.
She pretty much just took care of it. Other than, I think she did leave
Just
one
put your
out.
smiling face on there,
That's
Dennis.
right. I believe she left out soccer. We're taking
Oh, taking
signups for
soccer.
soccer
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right,
Up
yes.
until, what is that? March 13th, I think. And also we also are looking for umpires for baseball, softball, anything. Anybody interested, just call the park. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much taken care of.
We still have indoor soccer going on.
Yes, it's, tomorrow is the last day of indoor soccer, and we still have the adult sports going on right now, and youth basketball is going on Saturdays for 3 more weeks, and it'll be finished up.
lots of sports.
Okay, good.
Pickleball.
Catherine, when,
Yeah, pickleball every day.
when is the dog walk show up? When you,
I think it's 9 o'clock,
9 o'clock?
but we'll get some more stuff out about that.
On February 28th.
March.
Oh, okay.
Not that quick. And then I think I didn't bring those dates with me, but let's see. No, I didn't. I believe the next one is on National Trails Day, which is, I think it's June the 6th, and we're thinking maybe an ice cream run.
That's a good
Brain
Does that mean
freeze
you run with
Sunday.
ice cream?
I
Yeah.
can just see me eating ice cream and running.
Walking. Oh no, I'm sorry. The next one would be our bird walk. So Carl Wilms from the Audubon Society, he's on the trail committee, and he is going to lead a bird watching walk.
I would like to do that. What- You don't remember when that is?
I didn't bring the dates, but I can get them to Bob. So it'll be fun. And then we have several more that we're working on. We're working on a Halloween event and a Christmas event. And the Halloween event might include the schools, and so it might be a big deal, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, great. Anybody have anything else to add on those? All right, on to old business, our work list.
Well, first, I want to thank the street department, especially Bonnie. They've been helping us out tremendously with their time, and working with Bonnie has been going really well. And just if we need something, I can call her up, and she says, we'll get somebody out there to help you. And so we just really want to thank the street department for their partnership. So since our last board meeting, the main things that have been accomplished are we had to go out and fix some of the conduit and the ditch out at River's Edge. So that work has been finished. They finished 16 of the trash cans, painting those, so we're good to go with those. The fair board gave us the $1,000 to build 10 picnic tables, and 6 of those were done, and maybe the rest of them were finished today. So we may be done with those by tomorrow if they weren't already done before I left. All the Christmas lights are down except the ones on the Roberts building, because it takes the bucket truck and it's too mushy to get the truck out in the grass. They have knocked down the baseball dugout that was source of contention there, that the one that was overgrown and that we're not using. So that's been knocked down and cleared and taken away. And Pete and Steve are training for their CDL licenses. Steve is training for the A, and Pete is studying for the B. So they are spending 2 days a week full-time studying for those tests, and more time as we get it. And so we're targeting the end of the month, hopefully, to get them out to take those and get that done. So, and then just so you guys know, we did change Bracky's hours. He was working Saturdays and Sundays for 8 hours, and just to help us out more through the week, he's now working Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 4 hours each day, doing trash, and then when the restrooms open again, he'll be doing trash in restrooms. So it's really seems to be
What dates were those again? What days?
Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we try to get him there every other day and a little bit more on the weekend. So it frees up some time to do other things. So, and Bracky was you know, agreeable to the change, so we thank him for that.
Okay, nothing else then on the work list?
No?
All righty.
What about the horse barns?
Oh, well, I'm working with the Historical Society on taking a look at those to see if it's possible to take down 3 and 4.
Right.
And it seems like, they don't have any issues with it, but it won't be official until the next historic preservation meeting.
It's next Monday.
So if they say you can't take them down, what's your options?
We're not gonna.
Don't worry about it.
Take it down.
Okay, I was gonna say, I hope
Who else
not.
on it?
Okay,
I don't know.
all right.
Sharon can get that done, right?
I'm on it. Sharon's on it.
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause I
Yeah,
could put you
they
in a
came
pickle.
out and looked at them today. Well, we already have the okay from Jessie Russett. What is her title with Landmarks?
She's the director.
Director.
She's pretty high up there.
Yeah, she's in agreement that it's okay, and some of the other committee members came out today, and which I understand, they wanted to establish a procedure for these types of requests, and so they wanted to put their eyes on it.
One question was asked me, are they gonna be taking any more trees down or anything up there at the park this year?
I'd like to. What I would like to do is, part of our goals for the year is to get a plan for how many trees need to come down.
Mhm.
And I've seen several that are already have X's on them, so I don't know if that's from a previous plan. But yeah, that it is a problem we need to address. And it's a very expensive problem. So we're gonna have to get a handle on how many trees are we talking about, where are they located?
Priorities of whether there's safety issues.
Yeah, and then prioritize by how bad the tree is, I guess, so.
Is there a map for, of the trees, the arbor?
Not that I've seen.
Didn't Jason,
Waterman.
Waterman come out and assess all those at one time?
I don't know.
I remember discussing at one meeting a few
I
years
think he
back.
did a few years ago.
Oh, he did?
I
That's
think
good
he
to
did.
know. I can
You might
ask him.
contact
Start
him.
with him.
I think he
Maybe
did.
that's where some of the X's came from.
Could be.
Because he'd probably remember which ones. He's pretty good about that.
Yeah, cause there's no need to redo it
No.
if we've already got one.
And if you're needing trees, he'll be able to get you some.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now when we take a tree down, we plant a tree, is that
Yeah,
procedure?
just not an ash tree.
Right, right.
I'm sure you can get those really cheap though.
I bet you could. I bet you could.
Yeah. All right, well, that's good to know. I will get in touch with Jason, and hopefully we already have that done and we can just start working on it.
That would be
Do you remember if there was pricing attached to that plan, if they got that far?
There was.
Yeah.
We
there
had something
was.
as pricing.
Well, maybe on the
Yeah.
computer too. I'll look again.
And it was, they were gonna do like so many at a time until
Yeah,
they,
that's one of the, yeah, it would
Got
be
'em
one
all
of those
taken
things
care
where you
of.
could go year by year.
yeah. Cause you're right, it's expensive.
If I recall, we had several quotes from different places, as a matter of fact.
Hmm.
Well, and I can call Jessie too and ask her.
I
You
had
have too
a,
many questions, Vane.
I'm sorry.
You're at your
Oh.
limit.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
16 or 20, which, anyway, I visited the horse barns today. I had something else and I didn't get down to the ones that are gonna be torn down, but obviously that would be a good thing. But the horse barns, I visited with an occupant there and toured them, and there are some issues with the roof. She said that there were things leaking
Mhm.
on barn 2. And I didn't get into anybody on barn 1. I did look at it, but I didn't talk to anybody who's a renter. Meanwhile, our rental prices, I don't know, just in my personal opinion, seem to be relatively inexpensive. If I were gonna board a horse there, that's quite a good price. And it might be something to look at, as well as what is maintenance. One of the things that she talked about was the, let's say garbage, was if we should, maybe we should have a city dump bin there or something so that people could put their garbage in it. And the bins, I'm sure the barrels are fine, but it seems like, I don't know, that seemed to be some sort of an issue. And then inside inside the stable is a community room, which is really in bad shape. It got taken, it was flooded a year or so ago, and they used to be able to meet there, have coffee and so on, and it's just a wreck. In building 2. I didn't look at the one in building 1, but
I
it
didn't know
seems.
there was a room in there where they had coffee.
Well, it's a place where you can store, you can put your
Like a tack room?
There's probably a tack
saddles
room.
and, yeah, tack room. And it's just really in horrible shape. There's mold all over the stuff that's stored there. It really looks like it needs to be maintained. And so I was gonna suggest that we authorize, well, I can't do it, but I would suggest that we authorize some maintenance fees for that, maintenance expense for that. Because it really wouldn't be nice to welcome more people in there, and it would be nice to make it nice, so.
Well, the plan, in my mind for the barns, the first thing we're working on, and I've been talking with Scott about too, is the rental contract. There's lots of things in it that need updated and fixed. And so I'm working with Scott, and Troy Tipton has been helping, and so that's one piece. The next piece was barn 3 and 4, just being safety hazards. I don't like them being there because they tend to invite people to come live in them sometimes, which causes other issues. And my plan, once they are down, would be to make that area a large paddock for people to turn their horses out in and get them some more exercise. So that would be my first thought. The second piece is getting estimates on, I was gonna start with barn 1 because the stalls in 1 are very small and narrow. I don't think a horse can even turn around in that stall. It basically is put in there and stands in the same position. Now in barn 2, the stalls are probably twice as big. So I was the next step would be to get some pricing, get some construction people down there to say, this is how we could fix it. I would love to gut barn 1 and of the stalls and just start over. We'd have, and make those stalls as big as the ones in 2. Another issue we need to address is tack rooms. Everybody needs a tack room, but we need to work that into the plan of how the barn would be laid out. How does that affect the rental price? Another thing Scott had brought up to me was we need a quarantine stall. So should a horse be sick, we need a place it could be quarantined. So really, the barns do need a lot of work.
Attention.
Yeah, they do, and it's on the agenda. But I have to start with figuring out what can be done, because it's very easy to just say, oh, tear them down and build a new one. I don't know right now that that's the best choice because I haven't investigated the problem enough. Now, if I get 3 contractors that come out and say, you're better off to tear those down and start over, then that's the next thing we'll have to look at. And another thing is the drainage down there is very bad. But I was talking with Steve Dunsel, and he said that if we rented a dozer, he could go down there and regrade that area to where it would not be such an issue in the barns. So that's kind of where we're at with the barns. Now, the concerns about the leaky roof has not made it to our office yet, so I can call him
Right.
tomorrow and see what's going on. We're basically in Band-Aid mode right now. I mean, we, everything that, I hope, everything that has been brought up has been fixed down there. We've had several things come up, and I think everything that's come to the office, we have fixed for them.
If you don't know about it, you can't fix it.
No, you can't, so,
I think the thing, the TAC room was really,
Yeah.
that's something needs attention, and I'm sure you're putting together a list of things that need to be attended to.
and really, I'd like to sit down with all the renters and kind of say, hey, what do you guys want out of this barn? But, you know, it's just getting to those points, so.
One of the other thing that she mentioned was restrooms. That getting to a restroom from there is a little difficult, especially in the winter, because you don't have water and da-da-da-da. But,
That's
that just
probably
some-
not
this-
gonna build a restroom, sorry.
No, I understand.
It's probably not in the budget.
Yep, you know, up the
Yeah.
restroom up at the top, you know,
Yeah, we close
really
it.
a nice restroom there, but it's closed because of the water situation. It's
Yeah.
winter, so. It might that might, in the end, it might be something to do a full season restroom.
Yeah, I don't know how a porta pot would look down there.
No, I mean,
Probably be kinda
yeah.
ugly.
Probably wouldn't stand out that much. down
No, well, you do it during the racing season, I mean,
Yeah. But again, I hope when, I talk with the renters that maybe those are things that come up,
That would
is
be a
we
good
don't
thing
have
to
anywhere to
do.
go to the bathroom,
yeah.
so.
Anything else? Anybody got any other questions for her today? Okay, move on to any miscellaneous business today. And anything from claims then? Everybody look those over, have any questions on claims? Alright, need a motion to accept claims?
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion? Anybody?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. All right, do we have anybody in the public that would like to speak tonight? Don't all jump at once. All right, nobody from the public tonight?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Any seconds?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.